So I'm just going to share screen first. Today we are going to do focusing more on grammar cloze. Of course, I think you might have seen on your student account, right? The questions that have been posted in advance for you to try. But in this case, we actually have we are covering grammar MCQ, vocabulary cloze, but more importantly, today we'll be focusing a bit more on grammar cloze. Okay, grammar MCQ is actually section A of your paper 2, vocabulary cloze as well. But grammar cloze is actually in section B of your paper 2. Okay, so it's not possible for us to cover everything in one lesson, including your compo, oral exam and all. So that's why we always cover different components every week. Okay, so that's how we do things here. And this week is considered week 30. We have a total of 48 weeks in a year, right? So every week we're doing different things. So this is week 30. So for the new students, I think we do have a little bit of, class rules to follow. I think you all are doing a great job. Okay, I'm just going to go through very quickly. I think for Grace, Jara, and Hao Xuan, they're very familiar with this already. Okay, so basically it is compulsory to turn on your video, which I think all of you are doing it. Mute your microphone, because if let's say you do not mute, everybody does not mute, there is going to be a lot of sound in the background. Okay, so it can be very disruptive. Yeah. Next thing is, if you have questions, you can always click on the chat function to ask, type in your question, and time and again, I think I'll just make an attempt to check what have you typed in the chat. Okay, and if it's something really urgent, you might just want to raise your hands. Okay, I think I'm just going to demonstrate it. So once you click on the reaction button, you raise your hands, you will be prioritized to the front, and I'll be able to see and ask you if you need to ask any questions or you need to help someone. I mean, or if you need to, just need help in general. Yeah. If you need to go toilet, please go ahead, but maybe just out of courtesy, drop me a text or something. Okay. Maybe in the chat or yeah. Okay. Elena and Hong Ye are here. Let me see. Elena and Hong Ye. Okay. Hong Ye is also your first time, right? We are just going through some of the class rules, yeah? Let me just take your attendance first. So we're missing one person, Jana, that's all. Okay, so I'm going to just put down my hand because I'm like raising my hands. Okay, I'm going to lower my hand. And all in all, basically, it's just to be respectful. I think this is considered as kind of most of you should be familiar, because during COVID period, okay, a lot of our lessons have turned HBL, right? Home-based learning. Okay, so it's basically, it's quite similar. It's conducted online. So even if we are not like physically next to each other, it's still a common space that we share. So just be mindful and just be respectful to one another. Okay, right? Elena, it'd be good if you can turn on your video. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to start. Today's content, I would say, is not so heavy, okay, because it's mainly MCQ and closed passages. So we might have extra time. And usually if we have extra time in between lessons, we will have like a short game or a quiz, and then I'll give you a short break as well. Okay? So unless if it is really heavy, like comprehension, we have open-ended comprehension, we have to go through compo, then we might not have time for this short break. Yeah, but otherwise, usually we will have a short break. Okay. Now, grammar cloze, let's start. He forgot to bring her ticket and had to what to get it. Now, this one is basically all what we call your phrasal verbs. Okay. So phrasal verbs actually have multiple meanings. Basically, they are made up of like a word together with preposition. Okay, so in this case, you do need to know the meanings, although all of them start with double, but they do not have the same meaning, right? So in this case, double up basically means you can, bend over and curl up. That means literally the action of bending over or curl up. Okay. Typically, because one is overcome with pain and laughter. Okay, so you can say, like, for example, Elena started to double up with laughter. So she started to bend over and, keep laughing, curl up because it was too funny. Okay, but double up can also mean that you are taking on different roles. Okay, you take on different roles. Right? So sometimes, like, for example, teachers, they might double up as counselors as well, for example. So they're doing two roles basically. They are playing two different roles. Because I think teachers, they don't just play two roles. Teachers have to play many roles, right? They are like babysitters. They need to do a lot of things. They don't just teach basically, right? So they double up as different roles. Okay. So in this case, of course, you have to then bring it back to the question and think, oh, does double up fit the context of this question, right? So if it doesn't fit the context of this question, then it's not the answer. Okay. So next one, double off. Double off is actually something that is a slang. Okay, it's not something that we commonly use in the English language. In fact, it is more specific to baseball, right? So it's like after a ball, if you do play baseball, I think baseball is not so common in Singapore. If you do play baseball, after a flying ball is caught, right, you want to tag the base runner at the same time. So that's doubling off, basically. It's more of like a term for baseball. Okay, so definitely this one is out. It's because the question has got nothing to do with baseball, right? So it's not doubling off. Um, and then we have double on. Okay, double on. We usually say double up on. We don't really say double on. But if we say double on, basically we're saying that it's also more of a slang rather than, formal English language. So it's more like you double on something means you do it very quickly. Okay, you do it very quickly or immediately. Right? Okay, so you do it very quickly and immediately, which actually can fit into the context, right? Because he forgot to bring her ticket and had to double on to get it. But like I said, double on is more of like a slang. It's not really a formal language. So it might not be the best option. Okay, so we'll just discuss the last one first. Double back. Double back means you have to go back in the direction one has come. Okay, so of course, with this, you would think that, oh, okay, double back, I think is the best answer, isn't it? Right? Because you have to go back in the direction that one has come. So the answer is D. Okay, so double back. Now, question 2. What she got up very early this morning. She was not at all tired now. Okay, so this one is a choice of conjunction. You need to use a conjunction that best fits this. So if you notice, these two information are really opposite, right? Because you got up very early. Okay. But she was not tired at all. So it's more of like a comparing and contrasting kind. So the conjunction that you use, okay, I see someone typing in the chat. Maybe some of you are shy. For question one, I chose D. The answer is A. Let me see. Maybe there's something wrong with the question. Let me see. Yeah, there is something wrong with the question in your portal. Okay, I think on the portal it says that the answer is A, but double up, like I said, take on different roles and bending over, it doesn't fit the context. So the answer is not A. I think there's an error there. Okay, the answer has to be D because D means, he forgot to bring something, he has to go back to get it. Yeah, so it's quite clear that this answer is D. Okay, I think that answers your question, right? I think someone said Minhaj, yeah. So there's something wrong with the question. Okay, that's why we usually will go through all the questions in your assignment. If let's say you have any questions, you can always clarify, yeah? Okay, now question two, like I said, two pieces of information, they're actually opposite. So we will use, okay, if even usually comes with even though, but there isn't. So this answer is out. We don't say even she got up very early. We can say even though she got up very early, right? Next one would be although. Okay, although she got up very early, so that answer is B. I think this one is quite straightforward. Most of you would have gotten it correct. Okay. If is usually stating a condition. If you study hard, you will do well in your exams. Okay, so it's more like a connector for condition. It's not really a connector for contrast. Okay. Despite actually can be for contrast, but despite will have the verb form is wrong. Despite will be getting, okay, it will be continuous tense. But despite she got up very early, then it doesn't make sense. It should be despite getting up very early, she was not tired at all. So this one is not. Okay. Any questions so far? No questions? Okay. All right, now let's go through question three. The sport boy was upset. What the actor shouted at him? Yes, Elena.
Because
Very good. Okay, so this is a connector for reason. Why was he upset? Right? The reason is because the actor shouted at him. Okay, so this is a connector for reason. Therefore, the answer is because. Very good, Elena. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Any questions with this? I think this one is quite straightforward. Okay, so this one should not be a problem. Question four, the investigating team decided to give up the search. What it got dark. Okay. Any volunteers? Grace?
when
Very good. Okay. So they decided to give up the search, and when was it? When it got dark, right? But it's actually for contrast, though is for reason. Okay, but is usually contrast. I want to go I want to go to the beach, but it was raining. Okay, so it's more like, there is a contrast over there. Though is usually for reason. It's a connector for reason. Okay. Um, so in this case, because it's talking about like a situation here, so it's when. Yeah. Okay, question five. Jennifer only realized her mistake what handing in her exam sheet. Yes, Elena.
after
After. Okay. Usually that's the case, right? Only after you submit your exam paper, then you realize, oh no, you made a mistake. Okay. And also because of the word only, She only realized, so it has to be quite late. Okay, it tells you the condition as well. So it's quite late after she handed in her exam. Yeah. So